कॉरपोरेट यानी बिजनेस करने का एक प्रोफेशनल तरीका। इस कॉरपोरेट का मालिक एक अकेला बिजनेसमैन भी हो सकता है या फिर कई सारे शेयर होल्डर्स। वैसे किसी भी बिजनेस का एक ही लक्ष्य होता है, मुनाफा, प्रॉफिट, जिसे कॉरपोरेट वर्ल्ड में बॉटम लाइन कहते हैं। हमारी कहानी दो ऐसे ही कॉरपोरेट्स पर आधारित है जो फूड प्रोडक्ट्स के बिजनेस में ट्रेडिशनल राइवल्स माने जाते हैं, सहगल ग्रुप ऑफ इंडस्ट्रीज और मारवा ग्रुप ऑफ इंडस्ट्रीज। हमेशा प्रोडक्ट्स लॉन्च करके एक दूसरे को मात देने की कोशिश करते हैं ये लोग। हाल ही में हुए चुनाव में सहगल ग्रुप की बैकिंग वाली पार्टी सत्ता में आ गई। एक तरफ मारवा निराश हो गया और दूसरी तरफ विनय सहगल खुश। अरे भाई, फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर ने पर्सनली उन्हें दिल्ली जो बुलाया है।
अरे हाँ विनय, तुम्हारे कंपनी के लिए एक अच्छा प्रपोजल है।
रियली?
फॉरेन डायरेक्ट इन्वेस्टमेंट पॉलिसी में मेजर चेंज आ रहा है। अमेरिकन फूड जायंट फ्रिस्कॉन इंटरनेशनल या इंडिया में कोलैबोरेटर ढूंढ रहे हैं। उनका एशिया पैसिफिक चीफ यहाँ दिल्ली में आया हुआ है।
आई सी।
मैंने तुम्हारे टाइप के लिए उससे बात कर ली है। उसे मिल लो।
जरूर, थैंक्स।
Family now. Well, that's right. This is going to be a great partnership.
फ्रेस्कॉन इंडिया लिमिटेड एक जॉइंट वेंचर कंपनी होगी जो स्नैक फूड्स और सॉफ्ट ड्रिंक्स बनाएगी, और इस कंपनी के शेयर होल्डिंग्स में साइकिल फूड्स लिमिटेड के 44%, फ्रेस्कॉन इनकॉर्पोरेटेड यूएसए के 26% और इंडियन फाइनेंशियल इंस्टीट्यूशंस के 30% स्टेक्स होंगे।
तो क्या ये क्लोजली हेल्ड कंपनी होगी?
बहुत ही जल्द एक पब्लिक इशू के जरिए सहगल फूड्स और इंडियन फाइनेंशियल इंस्टीट्यूशंस दोनों ही अपनी अपनी होल्डिंग्स 8% से डाइवेस्ट कर देंगे। एंड टुडे आई एम वेरी प्राउड टू बी एसोसिएटेड विद फ्रिस्कॉन। थैंक यू ऑल।
Yes, you all guessed it right. Friscon having a tie-up with Sehgal Industries. What would we call in terms of India the same as? You guessed it right. That's the first topic we are going to start with today, amalgamation. So, 5th semester, 3rd year BCom, Unit 1, Chapter 1. What we are going to study is accounting for amalgamation. As you have seen this small clip of a corporate movie, so you already got an idea what is amalgamation exactly. Okay, as Friscon had a tie-up with Sehgal Industries, basically that was a merger. That itself is called as amalgamation. So what is the general meaning of the word amalgamation? Simply you can say to combine or to unite. Like you saw in the clip just now, Sehgal Industries combined or united with Friscon company, which was a foreign company. So that was basically collaboration or amalgamation. Now coming to the technical part, what is the accounting definition of the same? The term amalgamation is used when two or more existing companies go into liquidation and a new company is formed to take over their business. As you listened in that clip at the end, you can rewind and see that again. They said that both the companies will divest 8% shares of theirs and then they will form a new company in the market. So amalgamation is exactly what? Two old companies go into liquidation. Maybe they are competing with each other. Now they make a tie-up and form a new company so that the benefits of joining the hands together can be reaped. That is called amalgamation. Note down the meaning properly, and all of you can note down this definition in your notebook. Okay, you can pause the video and write this definition in the notebook. Meaning of the word amalgamation. The term amalgamation is used when two or more existing companies go into liquidation and a new company is formed to take over their business. Means two companies wind up their own business they form a new company in which the shareholders of both the companies are given participation. So in the new company, shareholders of first and second company, both will be issued the shares of this third new company. Okay. Now, proceeding further, let us understand this concept with the help of one more live example. In the last 2 years, we have come across this. You all have been knowing about Vodafone. Okay, it's a major player in the telecom industry, in the mobile industries, and simultaneously one more player, Idea. They were competitors earlier. Okay, both of them were competitors earlier, but both of them had the same field of operation. Means Vodafone as well as Idea, they were into telecom services, prepaid, postpaid, internet and value added services. The area of operation was exactly same. However, what was the disadvantage of operating separately? Number one, 2G scam. It was about 28 lakh crore rupees. Okay, 2G scam. All of you can Google it and try to investigate on what was it exactly. But in this scam, political biasness was faced only towards few telecom companies. Okay, during the CDMA, GSM, something like that was existing in the mobile industry in 2000 to 2010. So it was biased towards Reliance and Tata. Okay, Tata also was there into communications. So basically 2G scam was biased towards them, and all other mobile operators had suffered a huge loss. It was a scam of about 28 lakh crore rupees, and some of that loss was borne by these two companies also. So big revenue loss was taking place because of this scam. Also heavy marketing expenses, everyone trying to reduce the call. Calls rates in India are the cheapest in the whole world. In other countries there have been incident when incoming is also chargeable, but here forget about incoming, outgoing also they make it unlimited. So heavy marketing expenses, publicity expenses are to be done. Then they have to hire actors, Abhishek Bachchan and others, to market that idea, great idea, Sarji, etc. So huge marketing expense to grab the customers. Overall, what happens? Both companies individually started making loss, but customer is the king. So customers were finally benefited in terms of less call charges per unit, more data, and you will also observe the pimple on the ulcer movement was the advent of Rajnikant of telecom industry. Yes, I repeat, the pimple on the ulcer movement. Already Vodafone, Idea and many other companies making loss. It's an ulcer movement for them. And on the same ulcer they got a pimple in the form of Rajnikant of telecom industry, that is Jio Digital Life. Free for everyone. 3 months, 6 months, free data, free calling for everyone. So this Rajnikant of telecom industry further aggravated their losses. So what was the only outcome left out for them? There is a Charles Darwin theory, survival of the fittest. So those who make changes and as per the advancement of time can only survive over here. Therefore, Vodafone joined hands with Idea. Yes, correct. Vodafone joined hands with Idea. And Vodafone and Idea decided to unite themselves and form a new company called Vodafone Idea Limited. Now, this is amalgamation, live example. Vodafone, old company. Idea, old company. Both of them went into liquidation, wind up their business, and a new company is formed, Vodafone Idea Limited. That is amalgamation. Okay. So what is amalgamation? As we studied in the first slide, two or more companies go into liquidation like Vodafone and Idea, and a new company is formed to take over their business like Vodafone Idea Limited. Now, The process of two or more companies coming together and forming a new company is called amalgamation. Further, a new twist is there in amalgamation. That is, we take up with few more concepts to understand that new direction of amalgamation. All of you have already come across Walmart. It's a very famous company which took over Flipkart. Yes, Walmart purchased Flipkart for $16 billion. Means Flipkart is being taken over by Walmart. Walmart is a purchasing company, Flipkart is a selling company. Okay. So Walmart took over the business of Flipkart for $16 billion. Zomato, all of you have been trying this out since last 2 years, but recently in COVID-19 maybe you have skipped it out. However, Zomato is very well known to everyone. Even Zomato took over Uber Eats for 2,500 crores of rupees. Okay, so Zomato took over the business of Uber Eats. In accounting, this process is called absorption. Okay, it is different from amalgamation. What happens in amalgamation? Vodafone went into liquidation, Idea went into liquidation and joined hands and formed Vodafone Idea Limited. Here, Walmart did not go into liquidation. Flipkart went into liquidation, though they did not change the name, and Walmart took over the business of Flipkart. So Walmart is the company which is purchasing Flipkart. Flipkart is absorbed by Walmart. Therefore, it is called absorption. Same way, Zomato purchased Uber Eats. So Uber Eats does not exist only now. Now, when you open the app of Uber Eats, you'll find they'll redirect you to Zomato. So Zomato absorbed Uber Eats. In accounting, it is called absorption, but as per AS 14, they don't differentiate in amalgamation and absorption. The accounting entries for amalgamation and absorption is going to remain same. So basically, from accounting point of view, absorption is a part of amalgamation. Okay. In accounting standard 14, amalgamation is used as a big umbrella. And within amalgamation that is merger also comes, absorption also comes. So both of them, and one more is there which we'll see further. So both amalgamation, that is merger, and absorption are under a broad category of amalgamation as per AS 14. Okay, so as per AS 14, amalgamation is the main thing which covers merger also and absorption also. Now, some of the amazing facts, have a look at it. Maybe you are not aware of it. Instagram, every day we keep on using it. We keep on posting our updates on that. But it was previously known as Bourbon. So Bourbon changed its name to Instagram. Same way, PayPal we use for this monetary transactions quite often. We get good offers also in that. It was previously known as Confinity. So even Confinity changed its name to PayPal. Zomato was Foodie at one time. Google, Backrub. The earlier name of Google was Backrub. It changed its name to Google. Twitter was earlier known as Odeo. And Amazon was known as Relentless. So this makes me remind of a good saying of William Shakespeare. What's in a name? That which we call a rose by another name would smell as sweet. So what's there in the name? You change the name, the content is going to remain same. In accounting, this is called external reconstruction. So what is external reconstruction? Students, it is old wine in a new bottle. Yes, you heard it right. Old wine in a new bottle. The company is only changing its name. The place of the company, existence of the company, domicile of the company, its employees, its shareholders, creditors, debtors, assets, liabilities, all remain same. Only the name is changed. As we had seen in the previous one, Foodie became Zomato. Only the name is changed. Now, why it may happen? Because maybe in the old name, the company has lost its reputation. Company is not able to do a proper business because of the lost reputation in old name. So they decide everything will remain same, shareholders will remain same, assets will remain same, liabilities will remain same, but we will change the name. With the new name we can revive the market. That is called external reconstruction. So what is this reconstruction? It means reorganization of a company's financial structure. Reconstruction cannot be considered as merger or amalgamation. It is not merger or amalgamation. Technically it is not. But again, AS14 brings it under the umbrella of amalgamation. So it may be done by liquidating the existing company. One company, existing company goes into liquidation, like Foodiebay went into liquidation, and forming a new company, Zomato, with a view to take over the existing company. It is different from absorption. Keep it in mind. Walmart did not go into liquidation. It purchased Flipkart. But here Foodiebay went into liquidation and formed a new company. So in absorption, Flipkart was taken over by existing company only, which is Walmart. But in external reconstruction, a new company is formed. So basically company is only changing its name, but in companies that changing its name means you have to form a new company. So it may be done by liquidating the existing company and forming a new company with a view to take over the existing company. This process is known as external reconstruction. So my dear friends, you are going to study these three topics in this chapter: amalgamation, absorption, external reconstruction. All the three are considered amalgamation from accounting point of view. Okay, so the name of the chapter is accounting for amalgamation, but it covers three things: merger, I'll use the term merger. Okay, in amalgamation, merger, like Vodafone, Idea. Absorption, Walmart absorbed Flipkart. An external reconstruction, Foodiebay changed the name to Zomato. Okay, so three things we are going to study in this chapter. Now, AS14 Accounting for Amalgamation, issued by ICAI, provide guidelines about the accounting effects for amalgamation. To bring uniform accounting system across India, amalgamation includes absorption as per AS14, as I said to you. Amalgamation includes absorption also, only from accounting point of view. Conceptually it's different, but accounting point of view, amalgamation, absorption, external reconstruction, all the three are same. So few terms we learn during this complete process. Okay, few terms are given as per AS14. If we take the same example of Vodafone and Idea, Vodafone Idea Limited, you'll find Vodafone, the company which is going into liquidation, is called amalgamating company. Even Idea went into liquidation, so that is also called amalgamating company. But the new company which is formed, Vodafone Idea Limited, it is called amalgamated company. The other terms used for the same are Vodafone and Idea going into liquidation are called transferor companies. Vodafone Idea Limited, the new company which is formed, is called transferee company. So for transferor and amalgamating company, you remember one thing: the company which goes into liquidation is called transferor company. You can note it down. I repeat it, you can write down in the notebook. Transferor company is a company which goes into liquidation. I repeat, okay, all of you note it down. Transferor company is a company which goes into liquidation. And what is transferee company? Right? Transferee company is a company which takes over the business of transferor company. I repeat, note it down. Transferee company is a company which takes over the business of transferor company. So if you take that absorption example, Walmart and Flipkart, then which one is transferor company? See, I said to you, transferor company is the one which goes into liquidation. So out of the two, which went into liquidation? Flipkart. That's a transferor company. And what is transferee? I said, which takes over the business of transferor. So Walmart took over the business of Flipkart. So Walmart was transferee company. Okay. Same way, vendor and purchasing company. Vendor means seller. Vodafone and Idea are selling its own business to Vodafone Idea Limited. So they are the vendor, they are the sellers. And purchasing company, who is purchasing them? Vodafone Idea Limited. Okay. So keep these terms in mind. I hope everyone has noted down. Transferor company is a company which goes into liquidation. Transferee, okay, transferee company is a company which takes over the business of transferor company. Now, amalgamation in the nature of merger. Okay, there are two types of amalgamations. One is amalgamation in the nature of merger, and the other is amalgamation in the nature of purchase. Students, note it, very important. This is very important, because in every question of the chapter, very first thing you'll be required to identify, is it amalgamation in the nature of merger or purchase. So you need to understand its conditions. 5 conditions are given as per AS 14, but from your practical questions point of view, you'll be required to remember only 3. I'll explain you that. Exactly, merger means a companies which satisfy 5 conditions. First, all the liabilities and assets of transferor company become, after amalgamation, the assets and liabilities of transferee company. Okay, means all the liabilities of Vodafone and assets, of course, all the assets and liabilities of Idea now become the assets and liabilities of Vodafone Idea Limited. In short, every single asset and liability of both the companies are taken over by that new company. Not a single asset will be sold by Vodafone on its own. Not a single liability will be paid by Idea on its own. All their assets and liabilities will now become assets and liabilities of the new company. Second, shareholders holding not less than 90% of the face value of equity shares of transferor company become equity shareholders of transferee company by virtue of amalgamation. Means at least 90% of the shareholders of Vodafone and Idea must participate in Vodafone Idea Limited's new share capital structure. Remaining 10% shares may be issued to the public and more money may be collected. But Vodafone Idea Limited, the new company which is formed, its 90% shareholding minimum must be occupied by the shareholders of Vodafone and the shareholders of Idea only. Not more than 10% can be collected from the public later. Third condition, the consideration for amalgamation receivable by those equity shareholders of transferor company who agree to become the equity shareholders of transferee company is discharged by the transferee company wholly by issue of equity shares in transferee company, except that the cash may be paid in respect of any fractional shares. Means equity shareholders of Vodafone and equity shareholders of Idea must be paid purchase consideration by Vodafone Idea only in the form of equity shares. Equity shareholders cannot be given debentures. Equity shareholders cannot be given preference shares. Equity shareholders cannot be given cash. Means owners must become owners only in new company. So how do you discharge the payment to the equity shareholders of transferor selling companies? By making a payment in the form of equity shares only. However, that last part, fractional amount may be issued in shares. Suppose the ratio comes such that one shareholder gets 52.5 shares of Vodafone Idea Limited as per the ratio. Now 0.5 shares, how can you issue? You cannot issue 0.5 shares. Either there are 52 shares or there are 53 shares. So that 0.5 shares value, let us say if the value of the new company shares comes to 420 rupees. So 0.5 shares into 420 rupees, 210 rupees you can pay in cash, because 0.5 shares cannot be issued. So fractional amount you pay in cash is okay. But otherwise the consideration to equity shareholders must be paid in terms of equity shares only. However, if preference shareholders are there in the transferor companies like Vodafone and Idea, then you can give them preference shares. Preference shareholders can be issued preference shares. But note it, equity shareholders must be given equity shares only in the new company. The business of transferor company is intended to be carried on by the transferee company. Same business. Vodafone goes into liquidation, it was in telecom company. Idea goes into liquidation, it was in telecom company. So same telecom business must be carried on by Vodafone Idea Limited. They cannot run any XYZ new business. Same business must be carried on. No adjustment is intended to be made to the book values of assets and liabilities of the company, transferor company, when they are incorporated in the accounts of transferee company, except to ensure that the accounting policies are uniform. So, in simple language, assets and liabilities of Vodafone, assets and liabilities of Idea must be taken over by Vodafone Idea Limited at book values only. So in the books of Vodafone, if there is a building of 80 lakhs, even if its market value is 2 crores, in the books of Vodafone Idea Limited, it will be appearing at 80 lakhs only. Same way with all other assets, machineries and liabilities, etc. Okay, in very simple language, all assets and liabilities of transferor company must be taken over by transferee company at book value only. No market values or revalued amounts should be taken into consideration. So theoretically there are 5 conditions for merger, but in our practical questions, I repeat, in our practical questions, second point is not relevant, because practically we are not going to go and check whether 90% of shareholders participate in the new company or not in the questions which will be given to you from accounting solutions point of view. Same way, fourth point also, we assume that same business is only going to be carried on. So we are assuming in the practical questions it won't be mentioned that the new company is taking over the old companies and doing a different business. So this condition number 2 and 4 are not to be checked in our practical questions. In our practical questions, only 3 conditions are relevant: first, second and fifth. To be more precise, types of amalgamation as per AS 14. One is amalgamation in the nature of merger. The other is amalgamation in the nature of purchase. So as I said, only 3 conditions are relevant. For merger, you will remember in very, very simple language. Now I am making you write. All of you note down this entire chart in your notebook. I repeat, everyone note down this entire chart in the notebook. Amalgamation in the nature of merger, 3 conditions satisfied. 1. All assets and liabilities must be taken over. First condition on the previous slide, all assets and liabilities must be taken over. Not a single asset or liability of transferor company must be sold or discharged on its own. Every asset and liability must be taken over. Second, at book values. No revalued amounts, no market values. And third, entire purchase consideration must be settled in the form of equity shares, except fractional amount which might be paid in cash. To equity shareholders, you must pay only equity shares. As I said, 52.5, 0.5 shares value may be paid in cash. If all the 3 conditions are satisfied in our practical questions, it will be merger. So every question we are going to check this. First, are all assets and liabilities taken over or not? Second, are they taken at book value or different value is given in the question? Third, is purchase consideration paid only in terms of equity shares or not? Even if a single condition is not satisfied, it becomes purchase. Even if a single condition is not satisfied, it becomes purchase. So what is amalgamation in the nature of purchase? If any of the conditions of merger are not satisfied, means even a single asset not taken over by the transferring company. They say furniture we will not take over. Furniture is scrap, you sell it on your own. If they don't take furniture of any single company, say Vodafone or Idea, then it becomes amalgamation in the nature of purchase. All assets must be taken over. Say book values. Vodafone says no, 80 lakhs building, book value 2 crores. I will not give it for 80 lakhs. It should be valued at 2 crores only. Then it is not a merger. Then it becomes purchase. And last, if entire amount is not paid in shares, you give preference shares also, you give debentures also, you cash also, then it becomes purchase. So any single condition of the 3 also not satisfied, it becomes amalgamation in the nature of purchase. I repeat, in every question, we will have to check these 3 conditions. If all the 3 conditions are satisfied, it is merger, its accounting entries will be different. And if any single condition is not satisfied, it's a purchase, its accounting entries will be different. Okay, I repeat, accounting entries will be different for merger, different for purchase. So in every question, we will be required to identify first, is it a merger or a purchase? So we end up with lecture 1. Okay, this much of understanding must be clear to you. In the next lecture, we will further cover with the methods of purchase consideration, how to find the purchase consideration, and we'll see a glimpse of accounting entries also, and how do they differ in merger and purchase. All of you must note down this particular chart, how to identify merger or purchase. So thank you everyone. Catch you up soon again. Bye bye. Take care.